Here's another great 1v1 battle. It's pretty good players. We got Zlo as Cybran. This Greg's Dune, so you don't really need mask extractors too much. A lot of stuff to reclaim. And he's taking on Deathly as Seraphim. So two very good players in this one. You can see on this map multiple choke points. You can go vertically against each other, then there's 2 choke points, or you can go horizontally. Then you got at least 3, plus a few of them on the sides here. But we'll see how this map gets cut up by these two great players. You can see this NG first gets some mask extractors, and going to get a few of these mass plus. Those are dead T2, so a lot of mass in those. We do see a Selene, very early Selene for Deathly. Looks like it's going to the Hydro. Yes, it's just going to sit here. The Hydro prevent it from being built. It's a trick that Seraphim can do. You can see eventually an air factory here from Deathly. He's going with 3 land exactly at his ACU. We see 3 land planned for Zlo as well. Still 1 mask extractor for Deathly, coming up in minute 2. 3 mask extractors for Zlo. 4, and I see the Selene just sitting there. We do see first raiders, hunters coming out for Zlo. He's microing them around this little hill here. He's just going to try to sneak around any raider. Selene does have a raider here. He's going to try to get back here to kill. It doesn't look like there's a response from Deathly. Or from, yeah. Deathly just put this Selene here thinking he's got raider coverage, but this hunter has got through. However, this hunter is not attacking. See some flak coming out for Deathly. Surprising there are still no air factories for Zlo, who's still staring this Selene. It's a very effective Selene. And now some tanks coming out. Some Thams are going to get covered by a few Mantis. And I can see this hunter finally gets in. Kills 1 NG. He's going to get killed 2. It could have been there so early and prevented building of these 2 structures, but now we do see a Tham response here from Deathly. This is just ridiculous, taking so long. So that's a big advantage for Deathly here, that Zlo has not had a Hydra all game, and now you can see Deathly's ACU getting pretty close to Zlo's base. Zlo does have his ACU at the base. He's getting an upgrade, so it's going to be an upgrade ACU, whatever he gets. He's going to take in a pretty large force. Some raiding Mantis from Zlo are going to get killed. So early on it looks like map control belongs to Deathly. He's got people at all choke points here with an NG taking over the middle, plus he's got air. And he's going to take all these mask extractors. He's got NGs going to all those positions. LC Zlo has got an upgrade. It's the gun upgrade, and that's going to help him get back the land for sure. And once again it's going to be another attempt, and this NG cannot do it. I can see Zlo moving. He keeps on moving through. Nice force. A very big retreat from Deathly. He did not want to mess with that gun, but he's attacking from the other side. Whole bunch of Mantis. It looks like Mantis are going to have the numbers. Going to try to run through. However, we do see that Selene has been reclaimed, probably randomly by that NG. And I can see Zlo at 4 kills on this ACU. We see T2 coming out. It appears that some T2 NGs, so T2 land factory for Deathly. That's a great NG here. Some T2 PDs is going to take this choke point for Deathly for a long time. Not much that upgraded ACU can do against those. On the other side, it looks like it was a really nice pushback from Zlo. So we saw Zlo recover much of the map with that upgrade plus this nice force here. Had a win over here in this area. There's a lot of dead units. Plus, it's going to get another victory if it keeps on moving. We do see some Miroshua coming out for Deathly, so that's going to be a tough battle for those Mantis. We're going to see something like a PD creep perhaps here from Deathly. Probably take it all the way to this choke point. Have a nice path to Zlo's main base. The ACU just sitting there at 13 kills, not being used, and an NG for Zlo taking over the middle mask extractors. We see a raiding tank from Deathly, and yeah, this is gonna be Yoshiva's. Oh, this is a T2 NG that got killed. It's gonna be Yoshiva's versus Mantis. It's gonna be one-way traffic, and you can see Deathly not even stopping. He's just going through. We do not see any T2 from Zlo yet, so it's gonna be a bad situation. And the PD creep continues from Deathly. So Zlo should get on the other side and see if he can help his troops out against those Yoshivas. So definitely an advantage in terms of technology in this one. So it was engineering versus T2 gun. T2 gun got Zlo half the base back, but now he's in quite a bit of trouble with this PD creep plus the Yoshivas going up the other side. So T2 land very valuable on this map. Now we see Yoshivas coming on this side. Secure this choke point, can raid at any time they want, and now these Yoshivas actually getting directly into Zlo's base. That's going to be really bad for Zlo. Now he's got T2 coming out. Finally, it's some rhinos. Those are very good units, but these Yoshivas might get around and kill this Hydra, just do raiding. 27 kill Yoshiva there. That's a very good unit for Deathly. It's going to get a lot more than 27. And elsewhere we see the Yoshivas taking over the middle channel for Deathly, as along with the ACU getting a few kills. And now it's 34 kill Yoshiva is not being microed. This is criminal to do, to have this hero die like this. Alright, so there goes that Yoshiva. Now Deathly getting an upgrade. And I was low pushing those T2 force back. So this T2 force from Deathly did do some damage, but not too much. It left a lot of nice mass chunks. See, these rhinos are now going to hold this choke point. But a successful PD creep, and now Zlo is basically cut off from this part of the map. And we're going to see Yoshivas and hoplites go at it. On the bottom here we also see some T2 flak, a little bit of T1 air from Zlo, but not really in terms of bombers. We might see the rhinos here at work. They should be able to get past this force, but we do see some a T2 NG here, so looks like T2 PDs are planned for Deathly. If you can get T2 PDs on that choke point, it'll be very good. And elsewhere we see now the Yosha is making pretty good progress against these hoplites, but hoplites kept back, so good micro, a lot of nice chunks of mass for Zlo to get. And now we see it's basically a hoplite spam from Zlo. And he's going to take his ACU through the other choke point. So this area completely belongs to Deathly, so we might see the map cut somewhat in half vertically now, with a whole bunch of NGs. And I see some RDXs shooting across this hill. That's an interesting thing to see on this map. We use some T2PD here. That's going to prevent any attack from Zlo. And the force going up the middle. Actually, Deathly's got T2 on his ACU now. He can do T2 creeps with the ACU. He's got some mobile missile launchers in support. So Zlo is going to find himself surrounded by more and more T2 PDs, although he does have missile launchers now. They cannot fire over this wall. Fears that these are not taking on. Yes, they can actually fire over. So these are good units from Seraphim, attacking the T2 PDs, T2 mass extractors. That's a very good weapon on this map. So actually we see T3 now from Zlo. He's making these are T3 Arties, so great units. These hoplites just holding this back door, and this engine getting a lot of free mass. And a whole bunch of those missile launchers. And you can see missile launchers versus T3 Artie. The T3 Artie should win, but still a T2 mass extractor loss. And now Zlo coming through with his gun. guy's gonna be forced to retreat. 44 kills on that ACU. Now this T2 RD is gonna be shooting over. Yeah, you can see it firing. It's got really nice range. Going after the ACU, it's gonna kill that T2 PD. We see it's just a whole bunch of RD. That's a great counter to T2 PDs, and now Deadly's gonna continue to retreat. We might see something, yeah, we see a brick now, and that's gonna really push this front back for Zulaw. The brick could probably take on a few of those PDs as well. And you can see Deathly here forced around. He does have T3 of his own now, some mobile shields. Excellent unit for Seraphim. Some missile launchers for Zulaw as well. And these units are going to be under arty fire the rest of the game. And on the other side we see some T3. So now we got T3 and T3 action on the top of the map. And on the bottom we got the ACU trying to build the T2 point defense in the face of a whole bunch of arty. So you see 5 arty, 6 arty, and now we see a pretty large force going through the middle. As soon as all these T2 PDs are dead, it's pretty much over. And now the brick is going to come back to hold this choke point. Hoplite's kind of thrown at this T2 force. This is T1 and T2 going up against T3 here. Deathly should take this. That was actually a really nice piece of arty. That was some so Deathly really in quite a bit of trouble. He's got to move with his ACU. He's going to get out of the range of this arty. And now we're going to see arty versus T3 tanks, and that is just tragic. You see those arty just disappear. Those two tanks, 13 kills, 17 kills, massive kills. And a loyalist here. Loyalist is going to be outgunned against those THAMs. This is very good Seraphim units. And a Jester actually going against it. Some nice mass chunks for Zulaw. And up on the top side, Zulaw now fighting with his ACU against a bunch of raiding T1s. And this THAM is a lot of trouble. 20 kills now. Jesters are going to take it out. That's actually great use of Jesters from Zulaw. This tank does not die, now finally it dies. Some mass chunks and all is dead. T3 arty is just tragic. And you can see a capture, and now this tank is going to take care of those NGs. This ACU from Zulaw can do a lot of pushing. I see some more T1 land factories, a lot of T2 power generators, and more T3 arty coming out for Zulaw. Now Deathly making shields. It's the counter to arty or anything else. Now you can see the THAMs rolling through. That's 4 THAMs. That's a big force. And these are just loyalists, so they're not good enough to defend. Now we're going to see bricks coming in and more T3 arty. Deathly's going to continue with his T2 PDs as well as shields most likely. On the other side, Zulaw is not pushing. It's 3 T2 PDs. So being careful. Or perhaps a single arty or a single missile launcher just placed right there, defended by the ACU, could do a lot of damage. Deathly getting free mass. If that shield falls, it'll be pretty big trouble for Deathly. He's gonna have to retreat. It's nice to see. The great units firing over that wall. Now the bricks coming through the other side. We see a upgrade for Zulaw, probably stealth. These Seraphim shields are great against arty. some jesters now going up against these shields, but T1 flag is going to get jesters away. And a pretty nice force coming up through the top channel here. Multiple THAMs. This is 4 THAMs plus a bunch of T1. It's going to go up against the brick. THAM is going through the middle as well, so sees low beginning to lose some territory. Looks like superior T3 numbers here, and this arty here. Yeah, it cannot really do much against shields, but it can fire all the way across. This is awesome. This is awesome arty from Zlo. It's firing over both walls directly into Deathly's base. This is T3 mass extractors and T2 power, excellent targets. And we're going to see this counter brick plus loyalists. They're going to try to get this arty. And on the top side, yeah, we do see some retreating from Zlo. Successful defense of this arty. And the arty just keeps on going to work. We're going to see a shield here. That shield is completed, and it looks like it will be. It's going to be pretty bad for Zlo. It looks like that's no longer the target. Looks like he's going after the mass extractors. And now it looks like Deathly has been losing his shields because he lost a lot of power, and he's lost a lot of ground on this top side as well. And it appears that brick has been successful together with the ACU, and it appears that Deathly has thrown in the towel. These arty right here were very good for Zlo. 37 kills, 13 kills, and Deathly realized he can't really do much. Although, yeah, so that the loss of all the T2 power and his mass extractors really cannot come back from that. So arty can fire all the way across. It's a great game.